Have you ever wondered where Hollywood gets its most terrifying villains? The kind that crawl under your skin and stay there? Norman Bates from Psycho, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Buffalo Bill from The Silence of the Lambs. Believe it or not, these iconic monsters were all inspired by one real person. His name was Ed Gein, a quiet, unassuming man from the small town of Plainfield, Wisconsin. He lived a life of solitude, hiding secrets so dark they would eventually shatter the peace of his community and shock the entire world. This is the true story of Ed Gein, the real-life horror behind Hollywood's greatest nightmares. Ed Gein was born in 1906 and grew up on a remote, isolated farm with his parents and older brother. His father was an alcoholic who was rarely present, leaving Ed under the thumb of his mother, Augusta. She was a fanatically religious and domineering woman who relentlessly preached to her sons that the outside world was a cesspool of sin, and that all women, apart from herself, were instruments of the devil. She kept Ed and his brother completely isolated, their farm becoming their entire world. When his brother died under mysterious circumstances, and then his beloved mother passed away in 1945, Ed's already fragile world completely fell apart. Utterly alone for the first time in his life, something deep inside him began to twist and break. To the people of Plainfield, Ed was just a local eccentric. A bit odd, sure, but harmless. He took on odd jobs around town, kept to himself, and was known for his strange, giggling laugh. But behind closed doors, his isolation festered. He became obsessed with anatomy books and lurid stories from pulp magazines. His loneliness drove him to the local cemeteries, under the cover of darkness. He began exhuming the graves of recently buried women who he thought resembled his mother. He wasn't just digging them up, he was taking them home. Piece by piece, he started to build a new grotesque reality for himself, a world populated by the dead, all in a twisted attempt to recreate the only woman he'd ever known. The chilling truth was finally dragged into the light on November 16, 1957. A local hardware store owner, Bernice Worden, vanished without a trace. The last person to be seen at her store was Ed Gein. When police went to his farmhouse to question him, they stumbled into a scene from a living nightmare. The house was filled with unimaginable horrors. They found skulls turned into bowls, a corset crafted from a human torso, and lampshades made from human skin. Chairs were upholstered with flesh, and masks, carefully preserved, were hanging on the walls. The House of Horrors, as the media would later call it, was real. Ed Gein's secret world had been discovered. When questioned by police, Ed Gein was surprisingly calm and cooperative. He readily admitted to his late-night visits to the graveyard and the macabre arts and crafts he created from the remains he stole. He confessed to the recent killing of Bernice Worden and the murder of another local woman years prior. Psychiatrists evaluated him and declared him legally insane, unfit to stand trial. He was committed to a state mental institution where he would spend the rest of his life. The quiet town of Plainfield was forever scarred, its residents haunted by the knowledge of what their quiet neighbor had been doing just down the road. The gruesome details of Ed Gein's crimes sent a shockwave across the nation, and its impact on popular culture was immediate and profound. His disturbing obsession with his mother became the direct inspiration for Norman Bates in Alfred Hitchcock's masterpiece, Psycho. His habit of creating items from human skin was the blueprint for Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs. He inadvertently created the mold for the modern psychological horror villain. Ed Gein died of natural causes in the institution in 1984 and was buried in an unmarked grave back in Plainfield, the very place where his dark tale began. Though he's long gone, the chilling legacy of the real man behind the masks continues to define the very essence of horror. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as chillingly fascinating as we did, don't forget to like this video And subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the true stories that inspire the fiction you love. We'll see you next time.